You're watching Cartell TV and I'm Amelia. Now, have you subscribed to our channel? Off you go.
Well, it's the N-Trek Warrior that is Nissan's response to the Hilux Rugged-X and the Ranger Raptor. Let me say that again. This is Nissan's attempt to attack two of the most revered utes on the market, made by two of the most revered manufacturers and in their meanest versions.
Now, many of you will be scoffing at the Navara N-Trek Warrior's attempt to challenge the frontrunners.
But I think good on you, Nissan. There are never too many premium ute offerings.
Now, this isn't the top trim Warrior, but rather the Navara N-Trek Dual Cab. This isn't the full review of the N-Trek, but rather a bit of a chat before we get the Warrior to review in a few months. But I will still reference the Warrior throughout the review, so you get a bit of an idea of both. Both are premium high-end utes and still taking it to the Ranger and Hilux up top. So let's take a look at what's on offer.
Nissan took notes from the mentioned two class leaders and made the N-Trek version of the Navara stand out at first sight.
Sure, it is based on the regular Navara, but it is also easily distinguished from it.
The bull bar is unique for the Warrior. It has an LED light bar, it has dark orange fog lamp bezels, it has a 40mm vehicle lift combined from a suspension lift and large tyres, 268mm of ground clearance, and these very noticeable 32.2-inch tyres on also unique 17-inch black alloys.
If you know your Navaras, or more specifically your N-Treks, you'll notice the wheels on the Warrior are actually an inch smaller than the ones on this N-Trek.
However, with these tyres they look even more awesome, and this setup makes a Warrior much better off-road. Even the underside is different. The 3mm stainless steel front underbody protection and the unique tow bar, which can fit a full-size spare with the massive tyre. Many people would not think about the latter, but they actually made this new tow bar for that purpose alone.
Both variants get a lot of decals on the side as well. Look, for me personally, it's probably a little bit too macho, but I'm sure a lot of people think it looks absolutely fantastic.
But honestly, just the bull bar of the N-Trek Warrior looks that impressive that I would say it looks better than the Rugged-X. There, I've said it.
Both engines are familiar from the regular Navara.
It's a 2.3-litre twin-turbo 4-pot, and sadly, this is the only option. I was hoping the cooperation with Mercedes would give it the lovely 6-cylinder engine, but the 2.3 is all we have in the Navara. The V6 from the Mercedes X-Class has 190 kilowatts and 550 newton meters from just 1500 revs, so it would have been very welcome. However, the 2.3 comes with sufficient 140 kilowatts and 450 newton meters of torque, which is by no means little. Officially, it consumes about 7 litres per 100 kilometres.
I was pleasantly surprised to see that peaceful driving gets you pretty close to that. However, off-roading, towing and faster acceleration significantly increases it.
You can opt for a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed automatic. This is an all-Australian model. It was developed here for this market specifically to give another option to the people who want a practical ute that is a beast off-road and also a status statement and comfortable on the road.
They figured Australians would know how to make the best package because vehicles like this have gone up dramatically here. Of all the utes sold last year, over 20% were in the $60,000 mark. So, vehicles like this one.
This is why Nissan found some Aussies to cater to the growing market, and this is also why suspension is greatly changed. The idea was to make the Warrior a beast off-road, but also very nice to be in on the road. Sadly, the changes had nothing to do with the engine.
Acceleration isn't lightning quick, but it's good. And the engine makes sure you've got lots of torque available all the time.
Basically, the push is not massive. It is sufficient, but it is available all the time. The gearbox is also good and unremarkable in any way, which is a good thing for an automatic. The less you notice it, the better.
However, this ride is not bouncy. The Navara is composed and comfortable.
You feel in control, and there is none of that bouncy feel you get in many lesser utes, including the one I'm in now. If you remember those higher speed off-road drives from our Ranger Raptor test, well, the Warrior can do them as well. Okay, not really as well, but it's damn capable, and almost 10k cheaper. So unless you really plan to drive 100 kilometers an hour off-road, the Warrior is a pretty good offer. I'd love to be able to compare the speeds in both back-to-back and see the differences. Another thing you will notice in harder off-road conditions is how less insubordinate the steering wheel is. This is a really nice setup, and the Warrior is a lot better off-roader than the already good N-Trek. Body roll is noticeably smaller and the comfort has increased. Loaded up and the progressive springs setup does its job perfectly, giving sturdy support when underweight and awesome comfort when not loaded. I really love this feature of these high-price utes. It makes them so much more civil while at the same time keeping that utilitarian capability.
The interior for both the N-Trek and the N-Trek Warrior is fairly similar. As you can see, we've got this lovely orange stitching and it complements the overall design quite nicely.
It looks nice and up to date. It is spacious and comfortable, the seats are great and there is enough room for storage up front. 3 people in the back will not be thrilled, but they will have more space than in most competitors. In this term, the Navara is pretty good. What I don't like is there is no armrest in the back and it also means no cup holders for the rear passengers. They get one 12-volt socket, bottle holders indoors and air vents.
The N-Trek also comes with 3 12-volt charging points. One just here, one in the glove box and one in the tray. And it also comes with one USB port up front.
Look, I'm not going to rattle off the listed safety features, but I will mention a few of the key ones like hill start assist, hill descent control, and the driver assist display. My favourite addition is also the 360 camera.
It kicks in when you put the car into reverse, but it can also be accessed when you push this little camera button here near the infotainment system.
This camera makes parking such a big beast of a ute a piece of cake. So, is it as good as the Raptor? No. Is it better than most others? Yes. It sits somewhere in between a regular ute and the Raptor, but it is much closer to the upper level for a noticeably smaller price. It is amazing both on and off-road, very comfortable and capable at the same time. The engine is good enough, and the new infotainment system is a lot better with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I don't think it's beaten the Raptor, but it is definitely much better than most of the top offers from other competitors who did not have a special model such as this one. The N-Trek, on the other hand, is an attempt to make a more luxurious ute and a pretty good one. It does all the things that a ute should do pretty well. However, in terms of comfort or off-roadability, it falls noticeably behind the Warrior. So, the pricing. This Navara N-Trek Dual Cab will cost you just under $53,000 for the Auto, and the Warrior Dual Cab is just over $65,000 drive away.
In this ever-growing market, it is nice to see Nissan upping their ute offerings. And while the N-Trek is a very solid and feasible offering, I am very keen to get my hands on the Warrior. And we will. Thanks so much for watching Cartell TV. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. And as I mentioned, we will be reviewing the Warrior in a few weeks. But we want to know, what do you want to see in the video? Should we compare it to the rivals? Should we focus on the off-road? Let us know what you'd like to see via one of our social media channels and we will do our very best to accommodate. Till then.